Recording.
Here you have a wild Thomas. Missing. He still misses.
Shut up.
He can't shoot worth a fuck. Oh, he finally connects. But the animal has gotten away.
What was that, like 200 offhand?
He starves tonight.
Nice. I'm the best shooter out here, don't listen to him.
He's not.
Good afternoon, guys. It's LocsNLoadFirearms Reviews here today. Alright, guys. Today we got a review on what I call the Amazon Special. The guy, he sells these scopes on Amazon, and he reached out to me, sent me a scope, said, test it out. And I said, okay, we'll try it. We'll see how it is. It's a good budget option. It's under $60. It's a Fiachi 2-7 X scope. Good, but it's good for the budget. Clear glass. It has a good amount of zoom, so it goes from 2 to 7. So you can still kind of use this for a CQB and extended distances. It's a second focal plane. So if you in the first focal plane, what happens is that when you zoom in, no matter what magnification you are, your reticle and all your holes on your reticle on your target stay the same. As in with the second focal plane, you don't have that same feature, but it's still very useful though. So guys, we're gonna hop into the little intro real quick, and we're gonna come back, talk about the features of this scope, and we're gonna see how did it do overall for the review. So stick around, as always. It should be a good review, guys. Sir,
It's just too easy.
sir, control your spread, sir.
I don't know those. I need those.
This little 2 to 7 seems to be on point so far. What is it? The green and white is how far?
323.
That's what I should have did. I should have just.
Got it. Nope. Wait, yeah, it was. Yep.
Ah, that's hot.
That's hot.
That's
hot.
What's up?
I was gonna say, get it, Will Smith? No, nothing. Okay. That's hot. That's hot.
Reload a lot. Oh shit.
Reloading 223 is about as much as buying steel case.
What?
Yep.
A little bit more. It's like 22 cents a round. Okay, so I'll bring a bag next time so that way it'll be easier for you to collect all the brands.
You guys using it, and Josh using it. I actually got quite a bit.
You're in front of his camera, sir.
Alright, welcome back to the war room. Alright, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to read off the features of the scope here, let you know what it comes with and what you're going to be getting if you want to pick up one of these scopes. Alright, so reading off the paper here. First of all, you have a 2 to 7 magnification. The scope size is 25 millimeters, so when you get your rings, you're going to need 1-inch scope rings. The objective lens is 32 millimeters. The finish is a matte black. Your field of view at 100 yards is 42.5 feet. Your eye relief is 4.3 to 3.9 inches, or 3.9 to 4.3 inches. The length of the scope is 11.6 inches. The reticle of the scope, try to show it for you guys. That is what you call the dead hold BDC reticle. So it's a bullet drop compensator. So, all right, reading more. The scope itself is made of 6061 T6 aluminum. So if you're in the gun world, that's kind of what you want to hear for at least a certain standard of toughness. That's what a lot of companies use is 6061 T6 aluminum. A lot of AR parts are made from that type of material. So the scope is made of durable material and it's not going to just crap out on you. Like I said before, is a second focal plane scope. So your holds and all that does not stay the same as you zoom in through the magnifications on the scope in that distance. So you're going to have to know that math and all that going into it. Yeah. So your adjustments, you have your elevation and you got your windage, and the clicks are 1/4 inch at 100 yards. The caps screw off, and you see you can adjust your scope here. And they do have nice audible clicks. And I have found that the windage and elevations do work on the scope. So you can dial in and get you a nice 0 with this scope, which is nice. More is water, shock, and fog proof. The glass is actually pretty clear. That's one of the things that got me when I first got this scope, was just like, oh man, this glass is really clear. It has a fast focus eyepiece here at the end. Everyone's eye is different, so it comes with a diopter, so you can adjust it to find where your eye likes it. No mount came with this scope, so when you buy this scope, you are going to have to buy a mount with it. And like I said, you're going to need 1-inch scope rings. Just through experience of this review, get good scope rings. I tried to do the cheap route because I was like, a cheap scope, so I'm not going to spend a lot of rings. So I kind of had to buy like 2 or 3 sets of cheap rings that just didn't work before I went out and got the Vortex 1-inch rings. They're still very budget friendly, but they work a hell of a lot better than any other cheap rings I've seen on Amazon. So if you're looking for cheap rings, Vortex 1-inch scope ring mounts. And secondly, lastly, the reticle in here does not illuminate, so you have no illumination feature with this scope, but you get what you pay for. All right, guys, so that is the features of the scope. We're gonna hop back out to the range, do some more shooting with it, and we're gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about how I like this scope and some of the ups and downs we had with it, because we had a rough patch with this scope for a while, but I think it kind of impressed me in the end. So see you when we get back. All right, guys. So this is the portion of the video where I kind of just talk about, I guess you could say, pros and cons. So first, starting off, I want to make the disclaimer that I do not recommend this scope for a heavy duty or any kind of self-defense use. All right, so that being said, the scope is pretty good, really good for $60. The glass is clear, the dials work. You know, you get a good set of rings, the reticle and everything will hold. I haven't lost 0 since I got good rings for this scope. So for $60, you know, if you want to throw this on like a cheap plinking rifle for the range, or you know, like a Ruger 1022 to hunt some squirrels or the small game Well, you can throw it like on I had it on an AR. I wouldn't put it on anything. I wouldn't put it on a 308. You probably could, but I only tested it on a 5.56. So it was able to take that. So I recommend it for 5.56 and below. But yeah, it works. The glass is clear. Can you use it for hunting? Yes, you can. But I, again, would not say trust my life to this. It's $60, guys. You kind of get what you pay for. Sometimes you can get good deals for, you know, not a lot of money, but sometimes, you know, $60 versus what like a real self-defense optic, like scope wise, like something by Vortex, and you know you're looking at several $100 and close to $1,000 for one of those self-defense optics. But for $60, this does fine. And if you absolutely, like, someone came in your house and this was just attached to your AR, can you use it? Yeah, like you can. I'm just saying, guys, don't put this on your gun and just think that you're just gonna be a badass with it. It's $60. It's made in China. It works really well when you don't bust it up too bad. But guys, $60 is gonna get you $60 performance. All right, so when I first got it, you know, like I was saying, I had some cheap rings and it just was not working, you know. I couldn't get it zero to hold. When I fired, the scope would come loose and it would be going back and forth, so I wouldn't even be able to tell where I was hitting sometimes. I would spend like the entire range day just wasting ammo, not knowing anything. And it kind of got to the point where I almost gave up and I was about to put out the review and just said the scope is just straight ass. You know, it was good for nothing. But before I did, I was like, let me stop cheaping out and get some decent scope rings. And ever since I got these Vortex rings, the scope has actually become somewhat decent. So I had this on my 11.5 and I was able to get some decent groupings. You know, I was able to poke out some holes on the target out there. I think at 50 yards, maybe 75. And then I dropped this on my DMR 16-inch ballistic advantage barrel I got from massdefense.com. Did decent on that, and it seemed to really like when I took that off the DMR and dropped it on the Brownell's BRN 180, and I was able to take that out to close to 200 yards or so, or I think a little past 200, and I was on point, you know. Hitting one target, transition to another target, the clarity was there, my hits were there. So it likes the Brownell's BRN 180, and it can be an accurate scope. You know, you can make pretty decent groups with this. Now, don't compare it to the high-end stuff like a lot of people like to do. Guys, it's $60. You know, if that's all you got, or that's all you want to spend for like a fun gun, you know, go ahead. This is actually pretty decent. It's kind of surprised me, like I said. So that's kind of about it. You know, it's a decent Amazon special scope for $60 that can, you know, be used for small game hunting, plinking, maybe if you want to do like some light competition, you know, like 22 long rifles or pistol caliber stuff. It does work on AR-15s. I don't know about 308s and above. You're gonna have to try that out. The site says it's good for large caliber, large bore caliber. So it didn't say like 300 Win Mag or any of that. It just says large bore caliber. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, this has been fun to review, and no, I'm putting this video out because I actually low-key recommend it if you want to buy a cheap-ass scope and find a good cheap-ass scope. Alright guys, anyway, that's the video, that's the review. This is the Viachi 2-7 X scope, dead hold BDC reticle. So you're not gonna be really adjusting too much. You're gonna be doing holdovers, and it works for $60. What can I say? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you want to support the channel, LocsNLoadFirearms.com. That's for almost anything, you know, T-shirts. You want to go to get some of this stuff off Amazon, or affiliate links, Optics Planet, Palmetto State, Wilder Tactical, others. The list really grows more and more because a lot of times I do these videos, these people give me coupons and discounts, and I'll put that on the website, so you guys should go check it out. Also, if you want to support the channel, because I'm pretty sure I'm demonetized, or I'm just probably going to demonetize myself because it's pointless and YouTube doesn't pay me like anything, so it's like, the hell do I need it for anyway? So check out the website, guys. Please support the channel. Anyway, hope you liked it, man. Wagunda, another video in the hole. Please be safe, guys. LocsNLoad out.